Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hello around the coast. Hope everyone's doing well. It is Friday over here, at least. It may still be Friday where you're at, I'm assuming. We'll see. A little bit later in the UK and over in the east side of from me, I would say. Or I guess west, if you're going west. It all depends, I guess, what's there, which is pretty cool. We're back with a live stream. It's been a while. It's been a while. In fact, let me see how long has it been. Let's go to my YouTube. And then if I go to, there's a live tab, streams. I guess not too long, 2 months ago. No, it's not too long. It says, yeah, September 23rd. So yeah, not too bad. 2.5 months ago. That's not too bad. And we were checking out .NET MAUI and .NET 7, which was very exciting. And I guess we did some conference apps. I feel like I've been gone for a while, but that's also okay because just stuff's been going on. You know what I mean? Life's been happening. .NET Conf happened, which was amazing. So cool to be part of that and to see all the awesome content that came out around that, which is really, really nice. And then, yeah, and I'm back. The holidays, taking Fridays off in December, so that's really good. So, you know, I only make videos and stream in my spare time. So we're here now. So we got a little bit of time today. We have a good one, something that's been people have been asking for a long time, which is, hey, can you go through the process of migrating an app from Xamarin.Forms to .NET MAUI? And a lot of the apps that I had a bunch of different requirements, and I hadn't gone through the process yet, and I still haven't gone through the process. So we're gonna go through it today, which will be fun in general. So it should be pretty rad. Yeah. But yeah, I always like to kick off these things, say hi to everybody, all the members join in, and all the subscribers coming in as well. So NK, good to see you. Thanks for being a member. Appreciate that. Let's see who else is here. Rakesh is in the chat. Anthony in the chat. Alessandra, good to see you from ways past, which is great. Rakesh is from Norway. That's awesome. Angelo from Brazil. Awesome. Very, very cool. We were just saying that it would be really cool to do a big like .NET Conf event in Brazil and do something. So there's that, which would be kind of cool, you know. So if you got any questions. Rakesh asked earlier, I answered it earlier, about Mac support for .NET MAUI for Visual Studio for Mac. It's totally there. It's in there. The 17.4 was released at .NET Conf 2-3 weeks ago with .NET 7, so it's all in there. Good to go. It was in preview before that, so if you were on that train, you're good to go there. And then he says, stuff's going good. That's good. Yeah, emulator simulators got some command line tools, things like that to go. Ankit was asking about the Bluetooth libraries. There's two. Shiny, which Steve talks about here, which is really great. All sorts of stuff that it does. Supports different platforms. It's going to be based on the platforms you need to support. And there's also the plugin.ble. That's the one that I was using in the past that I helped migrate to .NET 6 and now .NET 7. I know the team's kind of pushing that forward, and that supports, I think, all the platforms too, mostly. And that's the one that I had just been using in the past. I guess I'd probably try Shiny now. Has a little bit more structure and a bunch of other stuff in it. But that's what I was using. So that's what, you know, I'm just going to upgrade and migrate to. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So Gustavo from Mexico, Lou from Canary Islands. That's cool. Good to see a lot of familiar faces and some new faces as well, which is great. Got some coffee. I was a speaker at .NET Conf. I got a bunch of cool stuff. I got this. This is pretty cool. It's the .NET. It's a .NET mini vacuum for your desk. So it runs on, like, you know, oh, it's actually kind of gross. That's cool. So there's like a little dustbin in there, as you can see. That's me just, like, you know, doing stuff on my desk. You can turn it on and you just, you know, run around your desk, get all the dust up on your keyboard, all that good stuff. That was pretty cool. I don't know how they found that. That's really neat. It's my new favorite thing, I think, in general. It just has like a little tiny motor in it, which is hilarious, but it kind of like sucks it up. That's cool. And I also got a cool, talking about dust, this is really cool. This is the speaker gifts. This is like a really cool, like one of those cloths. I guess I got to put it here because it's in there. I don't know if they're going to create a store or something where you can just like buy it. That's pretty cool. And then I also got this. Hold on. Two other things. Gotta change it. I got this thing, which is, I guess it's Friday now. Ooh, there we go. Cool. It's like a little block-based. Let's put it there for the focus. There we go. A little .NET Conf thing, which is kind of cool. A little calendar, so I can change it every day I come into work. Even more work to do. And then I also got this. This is pretty neat too. This is like a little .NET bot, .NET Conf, pencil bag type of thing. Put all your gizmos and gadgets in there, so that's pretty neat. There's a few other things too, but those are the main ones, which is kind of nice. So I got some stickers, but I already had tons of stickers. So, but I did get, I got these really cool like .NET MAUI stickers, which are cool. So I like those. There's different ones. There's different ones. I like those ones a lot. Those are pretty cool. Yeah. Anyways, that's what happened there. Mav asks, I'd love to see someone set up a unit test project. That's a good question. N unit, X unit. I would take a look at the X unit stuff. I think that's what the teams use. Oleg is asking about the media element. I posted some things on Twitter about that. They're working on that for the community toolkit. There's a branch. That's what I would check out and pull the NuGet from there and give it a go. Gerald did a video on it on his YouTube. Then he tweeted that. He's like, I created the video too early. Whoops. He was getting too excited. So there's that. That's how you told. Rob says that's how I used to tell the current date in the Victorian days. Yep. Ankit from India, good to see ya. Fahim says, do I personally have any apps in the app stores based on .NET 7 with .NET MAUI? Not yet. I'm working on migrating everything now. That's my plan. Based on my learnings today, going through the process, I was waiting for a few more libraries to upgrade and migrate over. But yeah, that's what I'm working on next. I have 3 apps that I ship into the App Store: my Cadence, my Stream Timer, and a skiing app. And I think the skiing app I want to upgrade first because it doesn't have a lot of dependencies, and it could use some of the new map capability that's there. And then the My Cadence app, I was waiting for the Ski Sharp had already been updated to Peter's question here in the chat. And then I was waiting for the Bluetooth plugin to be updated. But the thing is, I don't know, like, there's no rush. I'm not like in a rush, I guess, to update stuff. Like I have, everything works and everything's good, in general. So until there's like a hard requirement for me to like go and do stuff, or I need a new feature, like, I guess I'm good for a bit. I think that's, the guidance. A lot of people ask me, I think Sweeky did a great video. Is like, if your app's like in a done state, right, and you're like good or adding new features and you don't need new stuff, then I don't know. You're also probably good for a bit. So I haven't had any necessary for like the original launch in May to now to be like, oh my gosh, I need to go up. Like, oh, I got to go do this right now. You know what I mean? So I've been updating my libraries, like the in-app billing plugin. Like that was one of the biggest ones that needed to be brought over to .NET 6 and .NET MAUI. So I've done that. And then the Bluetooth plugin one is the one that I need there. And I think for my Stream Timer, while it's not that complicated, there is a bunch of custom backgrounding code, and I'm not exactly sure how that works on Catalyst and WinUI 3. So I kind of need to go through that process and bring that over too. But those apps will look like 1,000 times better once I actually get those in here. That'd be nice. I just mostly want those apps looked better, basically. That's my big thing, at least for my desktop apps, because the other stuff was just kind of using like, previews and stuff like that. But it works today and it's there. So that's good, I guess, Good questions. Let's see if there's any other questions in the chat. I think it's about it. Cool. Oh, coffee. I forgot how to drink coffee. So there's that. Yeah. Any new workshops from start to finish? Good question, Ankit. So the workshop, I'm going to be adding some new things to over time. So the monkey app, hey Mitesh, thanks for being a subscriber. Maybe you're watching, maybe you're not. I don't know, drop a chat into chat. I'm going to adding some new modules onto the workshop. So my plan there is to add like database work, add a backend to it. A lot of people have been interested in like adding maps to it. So kind of taking advantage of Imitesh. So adding some things into it, basically is kind of be my idea in general. And going from there. Hey, good to see you from Poland. There you go. Awesome. I was just in Poland, which is awesome. So yeah, that's what I would say mostly is kind of what I'm looking for in general. So if you have suggestions of what you want to kind of see in the workshop, let me know. But what I want to end up turning the workshop into is a 2-day workshop. So it takes it from start to finish and then goes from there, because that'd be kind of cool. Because it kind of ends at some customization, some refresh view stuff, but that stuff's not really super required. It's more like exploratory, where I feel the next steps are, okay, let's get these monkeys offline. Let's actually write a backend for this. Let's figure out how to run that locally, things like that. And then I want to add some Blazor hybrid stuff in there too, so you could add some web view technologies and share components and things like that would be kind of cool. Yeah. I can't read the person's name, but hello, James. Glad to see some things missing from the main libraries, like effects view and ripple view. I think from Sync Fusion. I think they added that stuff back in, so it's there, I believe, now. I think the effects view, at least. See, Ethan asks, should begin invoke on main thread be used in view models when setting observable properties in an async method? No, that you shouldn't have to, unless you're calling that from a background thread, right? So it all depends on the thread that you're there, right? In general. So if you're having a call in the background, the async await returns you to the main thread that you're on. So as long as you're calling that stuff on the main thread, you shouldn't have a problem. If not, you can use a dispatcher, the begin invoke on it, Lots of questions coming in. Cool. Craig was asking about observable collection. Now this should work fine. I haven't had any problems. That's what I use. So, and even in the workshop too. So should be fine. Well, Anthony, how's it going, buddy? Ethan, thanks for being a member. Appreciate that. I was just in our member AMA. Every 3 to 6 months, I do an AMA exclusive for members. That's kind of cool. So many questions. Cool. Oh, Pierre, I was asking if I found out while if you're at the Live 360, the VS Live workshop there in Orlando. I did that. I think there was that open bug on it. I haven't asked the team on it. The other thing you could try to do is install the preview of Visual Studio. Just install the MAUI workloads. That's what I run. That seemed to be working, although I did run into some other issues today, so we can test that out. But it was working, I think, for me, or being weird. I don't know. I need to double check it, so I'm not really sure. Yeah. Rakesh asks, yeah, the Azure offline capabilities, offline link. Yeah, I need to give that. That'd be kind of cool to add in there if we create a backend for it. So Roche says, oh, that's an interesting question. MVVM cool in the toolkit. Wouldn't it make more sense to be applied to the public property rather than the private property? Then the generator should do the private one. No, it can't, Sarosh. You have to add it to the private one because it needs to generate the public getter and setters, and it adds all the logic in there to do the property change notifications, right? If you'd applied it to the public property, then you would have to call all the stuff, right? And you'd have to generate all the code for it. So you apply it to the private one, then it generates all the public scaffolding for you in general, if that makes sense. Mitesh, yeah, awesome. Well, it's awesome, Mitesh. Awesome that you're at Orlando at VS Live too. Yeah, glad you're there. I just did a bunch of updates to the workshop based on all the feedback and all the weird things we ran into. I went through recently and added a bunch of new things in there, so give it a look if you're in there too. So, are there any plans to have a MAUI robot? There is one. One exists. I don't know how to get it, but I want it. So yes, It's cool. Hey, Alan, how's it going? We were just talking about Shiny earlier. I haven't streamed in a while. We are talking about that too. Good to see you as well. So glad things are going good for you. Yeah, we're talking about we're just talking about Shiny. Someone else about Bluetooth stuff because I was waiting for the other Bluetooth plugin to go in there, and I said if I was starting a new app, I would just use Shiny probably because it already supports the scenarios I want. But you know, like I know, I don't want to rewrite my code. Yeah. Good question. Let's see. Kiloyan asks, love the videos. Glad you like the videos. Why would you choose Maui or Native or Flutter or React Native or all these other things? Well, it depends on what you're looking for specifically out of it. If you're a C#.NET developer, do you want me to PR it? Well, my app's closed source, but yeah. I need to upgrade it to .NET MAUI first, and then we'll go from there. So maybe I'll invite you to the repo. It's really ugly code, but it's actually really not that much code, so I bet it wouldn't be that bad. Maybe I'll take a stab at it one day. Oh, I did give you access? Yeah, maybe. That's funny. Maybe we could take a look at it. It's pretty ugly code. It's like the worst code. That's why it's closed source, because it's so such ugly code. Yeah, maybe. I could write a blog post of it there. I think it would be better if I upgraded to Maui first and then did it. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, I really would need to retest everything over and over again. I kind of feel like it's in a good stable state where I don't want to touch anything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? There's that. Okay, to Keloyan's question. Cool name, Keloyan. Well, it really depends, you know. Every different approach has different things, right? So you think with .NET, you have the ability to create iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows apps, you know, separately, right? You can create and use the native UI, the native components. You can access those native APIs in C#. You can bring in different third-party libraries from those programming things with Java and Objective-C and stuff, and you can create your own bindings around them. And you can use the UI like storyboards and Android XML and all that other stuff, right? But of course, you want cross-platform stuff. So in that instance, you're often sharing code between them. But if you want to do cross-platform UI, then there's other things. So kind of to Jesse's question earlier, the relationship between Maui and Uno or even Avalonia. Think of it like this. .NET is actually like sort of a platform for folks to build their own. Like it's a platform to build apps on with iOS and Android, Mac, and Windows, right? Different capabilities there. But then you also have the capabilities of building on top of that base layer. So .NET MAUI is these abstractions, as framework, and this whole platform on top of the lower level iOS, Android, and Mac and Windows stuff that gives you this common API. And that's what Uno is too, right? Uno has its own like composition layer that's built on top of that stuff. And when you build an Uno app or a .NET MAUI app or an Avalonia app for iOS, Android, or Mac, Mac or Windows, it uses different .NET technologies to build that up. So really, like, if we're measuring the amount of .NET developers building apps, all three of those are included in the scenario, right? It just doesn't matter. The cool part with .NET MAUI, though, is that a lot of these other platforms are using it as a platform itself. So a platform as a platform, if you will. So like Avalonia built an Avalonia .NET MAUI control that you can drop in to a .NET MAUI app. So you can leverage their composition and their rendering capabilities and all that cool stuff, all the stuff that they're doing, and you could drop that in as a page or as a control or things like that. So you could blend those worlds together, which is quite nice in general. And then, you know, those other UI frameworks, for example, could do their own stuff, right? If they want to do Linux support or web UI, like they figure out how they want to do those different things in general. Now, the other platforms like Flutter and React Native and native stuff, like those are just based on what exactly you want to build. Like Flutter is built with Dart and it has a custom drawn control mechanism with a canvas. React Native is a web tech with, you know, kind of a hybrid-esque approach to it. You're writing like React and React components. And then Ionic is Ionic, so it's like, you know, web-based, things like that. You know, so each of them have their own different ecosystems, or, you know, technology, how you're pumping out apps. But if you're a C#.NET developer, it's going to make a lot of sense to use C# and .NET, so you can share code, knowledge, you don't have to learn new stuff, use the same tools, do all the same stuff that's there. And then I think the cool part about .NET MAUI is sort of the Blazor integration. And the Blazor integration stuff is really cool because you can not only bring in Blazor, but you can bring in any web tech. So you can bring in React components and Angular components and things like that. Sam Basu from Telerik did a whole blog and a whole video and live stream, and he's done talks on that stuff too, which is really cool. So you could bring that stuff in into it, which is nice. So you can build these like hybrid apps, which I think is awesome. Yeah, which is great. Yeah, which is there. So yeah. So anyways, hopefully that gives some context there to Jesse's question and to other stuff there too. But you know, every UI platform, everything has basically its own advantages and disadvantages and ways that it's built, right? So it's there. Like I'm a C#.NET developer, and like decades ago I picked that as the thing that I fell in love with and I wanted to build and what I wanted to use, and I continue to do so to this day because it does the things that I want for my needs and for my apps, right? Is anything the best thing in the world? Like I said, everything has pros and cons. That's different based on the apps that you're creating, right? In all transparency. Like if I'm a salesperson, I'm going to tell you we have the best thing since sliced bread, and that's the only thing that you should use ever. But I'm not a salesperson. We don't sell anything. It's all free. So, you know, it's what's best for you and your approach. For me, this is what I use, if that makes sense. What's my take on a reactive UI? I don't know. Alan loves RX UI. I haven't really used a lot of reactive stuff, but I think it's super supported, super good. There's a bunch of stuff going on there. I think the MAUI reactor UI, which is different, not reactive UI, but reactor UI. There's that. So, yeah. There you go. Alan says, once you go reactive extensions, you don't go back. I believe it. I believe it. So the problem is, remember, I'm not like a full-time developer. I'm a manager. So although I should do some more reactive extension stuff. That's for sure. Mike Bluestein, who I used to work with at Xamarin. Way old Xamarin days. Hope Mike's doing good out there. He used to give talks on reactive extensions. He would like show it off. So it's been there for a long time. So it's cool. Cool. All right, let's do it. I'm into it today. Let's get into it. It's been 20 minutes. We'll do a how do you do that thing? Can I do that thing where I do a, let's see, let's insert an ad. Let's give that a try. Okay, here we go. We're gonna insert an ad, and then we're gonna come back and start coding. So I can get more coffee. Actually, I have no idea if that actually inserts an ad or not. It's a good question. No idea. Oh, there's me. You can see me in the thing. Silly James. All right, let's go to my computer. See, Alan says, I could never convert James to RX, but I've got John Dick on the ropes to use it. There you go. That's good. You just get John Dick in there, and then you're halfway there. That's what I say. So that's good. Oh, my goodness. So a few things I think are worth noting is Sweeky did an awesome video highlighting like the sort of path to doing stuff with upgrading your library. So I'll drop that in there if you want to watch that later. It's definitely worth a watch in general. So there's a whole basically pattern and practices and path that you go on basically to it, and it's pretty short. Like if you just watch it, it's like 15-20 minutes, and she gives you sort of all the whys, the hows, the do's, the journey that you go on. So it's super duper good, but you'll probably end up landing on like this document, which is pretty short, which tells you don't need to necessarily rewrite your Xamarin.Forms apps to .NET MAUI apps. However, there is like guides, right? So converting the projects to the SDK style, updating namespaces, updating incompatible NuGet packages, addressing any breaking changes, and you can run the converted app and verify that it works correctly. So it's only 5 easy steps to migrating your app until you click on this. And when you click on the migration doc, this kind of tells you what you need to do in general. So this is the guide. And the question ends up becoming, are we going to use the guide? And what are we going to do today in general? And there's a lot to think about in a migration. And let's talk about it. So we have an app. This is the My Coffee app, right? So the My Coffee app looks like this. It uses shell. It has a flyout. It has tabs. You know, it has some database stuff, so I can like add a new coffee. So you know, I can add a coffee here, hit save. That saves it into a database. I can, you know, call backends. I have, you know, settings for like dark theme mode, which looks cool. So there's like different cool animations and things like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. I've used this throughout the process. It's on my GitHub, right, to do different things, and it applies really nice back and forth. So there's the light theme, the system theme, the dark theme. It works really well. So let's look at this thing, right? So if you look at what's in it, is there's this shared code which has some models. So like this is fine. This is just a .NET standard library, not a big deal. And this uses some primary key stuff for SQLite-net. That's cool. And then in the My Coffee app, we have you know, the Android app, the iOS app, and then we have this shared code project here, right? I have some fonts in here. Got a bunch of libraries. So I have Monkey Cache, my MVVM helper, SQLite, community toolkit. That's interesting. Xamarin.Forms, obviously, Xamarin Essentials. I have the shared code project. And then I have, you know, these fonts that are embedded. I have a bunch of view models, views, you know, some services. I actually have some interfaces here. I'm using the little dependency service in here as well. I don't have any like custom views or things like that. I don't use a lot of custom renders. It's not really my jam. So Jesse was asking me earlier about custom renders. Am I going to talk? Yeah, I don't believe in custom renders, though. Unless I'm creating a control UI toolkit, then obviously I would use the new handler framework. So yeah, this app that we just built together. You know what I mean? So this stuff's all in here. And it uses shell, and it has this mechanism in here. It has some resources. So here's the process to think about. What are we going to try to get out of migration? Like in this instance, I have Android and iOS. I'll get Mac and Windows for free out of it, which is cool. I'll get a bunch of performance gains. The other thing that's of interest to me is, how do I want to upgrade and migrate this thing, right? When I think of going from Xamarin.Forms to .NET MAUI, it's not just migrating from Xamarin.Forms to .NET MAUI. Like that's not really that's part of the equation. If you follow this channel at all and you follow the evolution of some of the amazing work that's been coming out of the community, you'll know that inside of .NET MAUI, you have all the single project stuff. You have all of the you know, images, resources, icons, all that stuff that has been updated, right? 100%. And then you have other things such as the community toolkit. So the MVVM community toolkit and all this other stuff. So, you know, if you just migrate your code and follow the guide, when I look at my view models, right? Do I want my old commands? Do I want, you know, all these properties here, for example? Or could we probably use the new source generators, right? Like that's also what I kind of think about. Like if I look at these view model bases and I have this base view model coming from my thing, like do we really want that, right? We have older namespaces that need to be, you know, migrated over. So same thing. It's kind of interesting to think through the scenario here, which is we have all these different commands and async commands, and like this is cool, but is that really the modern way of doing it that I want to do, right? And then, of course, here I'm doing a few different things. Like I'm prompting users, right? Should I be doing that, or should I use shell new capabilities, for example, right? So I think the migration path is interesting in that regard. And then, of course, you know, the migration tool that is there isn't going to merge things into a single project, but that's the thing that I really, really want coming into this, right? So that's going to be the goal, hopefully, for today and going through the tools. But we're going to read through some guides, right? So there's sort of this manual migration step, and this is a great doc because it kind of goes through everything that you need. So I like that, you know, there's for updating some things like VS Code is recommended. It gives you a lot of nice ways of changing things across the projects. And then here, right, there's, if you wanted to, right, there's the .NET MAUI docs, but then there's actually migration for iOS and Android. So if you had a non-.NET MAUI app, you could use this guide to update those applications, right? So you could look at the project file properties and update things as well. There's a bunch of different buckets and different things that are there. And there's some samples that have been updated in the MAUI migration, which is cool. But then we get into this, right? Which is, here's a bunch of manual steps to update, right? So we have the Xamarin.Forms project. Well, are we going to just migrate that one over, right, and move it over? Or how do we want to do that? Do we want to, you know, delete the old projects, move the things in here, update and add the MAUI program, add the MAUI application, add the main activity, do this stuff, right? Like, there's a lot of things in here. This is probably the most important part, which is like the namespaces. So the XML and S namespaces, the MAUI programs, things like that. And of course, Xamarin Essentials is gone, and there's some other things. So this is a good guide of walking through stuff in general, and even looking at the backwards compatibility part. But I think what I'm interested in is two parts. I think when I think about upgrading in general is I probably don't want to just take my app and migrate it over. I think what I really want to do is go in and like first create a new branch. So I'm going to say new branch. I'm going to say .NET MAUI, right? And discard any changes. I didn't make any. Okay, cool. So now we're on a new branch. That's the first thing. It's like, let's create a new branch, right? And then I think there's a few things in general. Is we have these projects, but I don't want these projects at the end of the day. But one thing that will be nifty is actually if the tool can migrate these namespaces and move some stuff over. I think that's going to be like the win in general for us. So let's try some stuff out. I want to use this update migrate update assistant tool here. Okay, that's what I actually do want to use. And this thing will process a few things for us. That's kind of what I want to do in general. So what I want to do is run it on, I think, just this project, the My Coffee app project. Because if I look at Android, like there's really nothing in here. Like there's a few dependencies and other things in here, but I'm just going to throw this away at the end of the day for the most part, or move it into something else. I don't know why it's being weird. But, and same thing with iOS. If I look at iOS, I really don't have very much in here. I have a bunch of icons, which I'm not going to use at all. I'm just going to put into a different area. Again, we're not really going to use the dependency service. So a bunch of this stuff we're going to get rid of. So it's kind of all throwaway besides maybe this chunk of code here, right? Yeah. So Nuno says that the community toolkit stuff isn't in the MAUI one yet. They just came out with a new release, so give that a look. That's for sure. I know there's some stuff that's in there, but again, you might need to rip those out and put some stuff in there. But I think I'm not going to touch Android and iOS. I'm just going to keep it alone. So let's do this. Can I make this bigger? How do I make this bigger? All right, I can't make that bigger for some reason. Can I make this bigger? I want to make this font bigger. Nope. Okay. Oops. I just changed something. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I'm not going to use that one. Let's pull up terminal. Boop. All right. There we go. I feel like I should just be able to scroll, and it doesn't let me scroll. I got to give feedback to the team. So let's do d:/github/mycoffee-app. Oops. No. All right, so let's cd into my coffee app. That's ls again. Let's do cd my coffee app again. So many things in here. So that's where we're at. We're inside of this thing, right? And if I do a git status, we're on the MAUI branch, so that's good. let's run this tool. Let's see what happens. I haven't run it ever. Sweeky for sure has told me that this tool is amazing. Let's run it. So it's going to install a .NET Global to the Upgrade Assistant. If you haven't seen the Upgrade Assistant, that's on the .NET website. And it's right here, Upgrade Assistant. I'll put that in the chat. And this helps kind of migrate some stuff over and do stuff in here. And there's a bunch of stuff. Oh, there's actually the whole blob on it. Look at this. Woo. So this is if you're actually moving iOS and Android projects over. That's cool. And then it shows you what it does and what it doesn't do. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, cool. So we have it. All right, so what do I need to do next? We're going to run a command. Pull this over here so I can read it. And I'm going to run. All right, so let's see here. Why is there a star at the end? Entry point. I think that's what it is. I don't know. So Upgrade Assistant, upgrade, and let's upgrade my coffee app.cs proj. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to close this solution just because I don't want it open. You know what I mean? Right now. Just because I'm a little bit worried about that. So it's going to do Upgrade Assistant, my coffee app CS proj, non-interactive. Do I want non-interactive? Yeah, it's like, do I want? So I don't know what this is doing, so it's kind of interesting to me first. I'm going to pull this back over. Oh, or it's a lot of click. Clifford says, but don't I want it to click? Don't I want it to understand what I want it to do? I want it to be non-interactive. All right, fine. We'll do it. I mean, that's what it says it is. Hey, Lux. All right, I believe ya. Usage options. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Documentation. Where'd it go? Oh, gosh. Non-interactive wait. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Entry point. All right. Oh, interesting. Globbing pattern. All right. All right, let's see what it's got. I'm just going to do it. Let's see what happens. I wanted to click enter, but I guess it's telling me not to. Did it do it? Oh my gosh. That was quick if it did. Okay. Didn't seem like that worked. Oh, I needed to say upgrade. Okay, so update, upgrade. I don't know how I missed that. I must have deleted it accidentally. Okay, it's doing it. Things are happening. Loaded 9 extensions. That's kind of interesting, yeah. Yeah. Like as it said, it's gonna get us some way there, but not 100% the way there. Oh my gosh, let's see. All right, let's see. I'm super interested in what's happening. I have no idea. Whoa. Maybe we will use. This is happening. No, Andres, you're right, and Joe, you're right as well. Whoa. That is interesting. It's happening. And oh, there's a whole report. How do I open that report? Okay, we're done. We've okay. So I'm interested here because I did. I'm gonna open code maybe. let's open a folder. And let's open... I just want to see what happened, I guess. Where's my coffee app? Okay. Yes. Because I ran it again only on... Oh, there's a backup. Oh, that's nice. Okay. I do like that it created a backup. That's very nice, and I approve of that. I'm very interested to see what happened. There's an upgrade report, which I don't know how do you run that. Oh, interesting. Okay, so let's see what happened here. Okay, so this brings in, oh, it only did .NET, it did Android and iOS, and just moved all that stuff over. So it did actually end up migrating the community toolkit. So that's kind of fascinating. It's on 100R2. So this is fascinating because I thought it was going to, oh, it actually does a change, then it does a backup. So I like that in general. Okay, cool. I like that it added a bunch of stuff. Did it add resources? Fonts. Okay. So, okay, neat. Okay, so let's do something else. Okay, so far it looks like what it did, what I like here is that it moved all of my, look at this, it moved all of my namespaces over correctly. It did look like it updated a few things, which is good. If I look at the code behind, that's really nice. All right, cool. The services, it left all that stuff alone, but it did bring in any of the MAUI stuff. So it removed all the Xamarin.Forms namespaces. I like that. Okay. That's fascinating. Okay, now I want to do something different though. I want to undo everything. And I want to undo everything. I want to see what happens if I run it on the solution instead. Because I don't think it's going to merge it into one thing. But let's delete the backup. Because that way it doesn't check it in here. Okay. And let's delete these. It adds a MAUI program, so that's kind of neat. Okay. Looks like I did get some pretty good results overall. Okay, let me run this again. Again, so in here, okay, so the solution's in here. So we're gonna run it on, we're gonna run mycoffeeapp.sln and see what happens. Now it should, it should now figure out the other stuff. So before I just ran it only on the .NET Standard project. Now here it says could not load project. Please ensure VS instance has the correct workloads installed for your project. That's, and the iOS one had an issue too. Okay. All I have installed is I have the preview installed. I want to see what happens. See, there's some errors happening here in this one. Specifically with the Android one. Could not load project. Ensures it's been selected instance. Okay. It's still doing stuff. That's fascinating. Hey, Shaham. Good to see ya. All right. I wonder what happens, what that upgrade report looks like. Can I just open it? Like, how do you open a SARI file? Like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? Like, what is that file? That's not really helpful. Like, I don't know how to open that. That's not what I want. Oh, there's a VS extension? Oh, geez. Serif file? Oh, there's a Serif viewer. Okay, cool. Well, it's good to know. Let's close it and reopen it. Now I'm interested to see like what it did. Did it create backups of... Oh, it didn't create backups of everything. That's fascinating. Huh. I wonder if it actually... It must have. It didn't... Oh, see, weird. Okay, they did add a MAUI program here. That's cool. I'm interested to see what happened here. See, it didn't migrate that. That's interesting. I know it doesn't do single project, but it looks like here it says, please pass the arguments VS path with the okay, that's it, yeah. I wonder if it's using a different instance of Visual Studio that I don't want it to use. Because I do have a internal build installed. So I wonder if it's like, which one is it using? How do I scroll to the top? Sorry for all the scrolling. Okay, so this says it's using... Yeah, oh, see, it's using the wrong one. Aha! Aha! Okay, so this is good to know. So I need to... So this was the issue. So it says here to pass in... Please pass the argument VS path. Oops. So that's interesting. So, because I have multiple versions of Visual Studio installed, it definitely ran into a problem there. That is for because I don't have that stuff installed. Okay, so that's good to know. So if you have multiple versions of Visual Studio installed, you should probably check to see what you have installed. So let's copy that file path, which is here. And then I just want preview, not int preview. So then what I need to do is reopen Visual Studio. And thank you, Andre, for the serif stuff. So then let's open this folder again. And actually, you know what? Every time I open this folder, Visual Studio freezes. Look at this. Which I don't know what's up with that. What's up with that? What's up with that? Every time. Just this folder. I don't know why. Let's close it. Okay, so let's do this. Let's undo the changes. Discard all files. Get out of here. All right. So let's try it again. Oh no, it didn't do it. Where's the VS path? Oh, okay. I probably need to do quotes in here. There we go. Okay. So now this should use, yeah, there we go. The problem is on my internal preview, I didn't have the Xamarin workloads installed. So you need to have the Xamarin workloads. You need to have the .NET MAUI workloads installed. So I didn't think I have them there. So that's why. So this is better because now I'm not seeing any errors. Initializing. So I almost want to step through it. Do you know what I mean? But there's that. Add target framework. All right, it's called. So it like found it. Okay. So it's gonna mark this package to be migrated, this one to be there. applying, removing packages. It's doing some stuff. All right, no errors yet. Updating some packages, Newtonsoft JSON, reference analyzers, adding templates. Okay, it says applying fixes. See, I almost kind of want to do this manually. I feel like it's kind of way cool to click enter a bunch. That's just me, because then I know what it's doing. But, ooh, it's doing backup projects. Okay, so whatever I did previously, I did it wrong, and now I'm doing it right. So there's that. And I do want to open that Serif file, though, and see what's happening. Is it backing it up? It should be backing it up. I hope so. Back up the project. I hope something's not locked. Ooh, that could be it. Let's just close that just in case. Ooh. Ooh. There's that. Let's see. Is it doing it? There we go. Cool. How cool would it be as if it actually just did it and then it ran? That'd be wild. So this one's going to apply, convert that. So I don't mind actually hitting enter a bunch. I like to see what it does, but it looks like it's applying the upgrade. It's going through the iOS one, going through the Android one, converting the project to the SDK style. That's cool. All right. It's going to migrate it to Android. Mr. Spoof says, surely it won't be that easy. Impossible. I don't know. It's doing it. It's happening. Sweeky said it'll work. I think it would be wild if it did work in general. You know what I mean? That'd just be crazy. Cool, it's doing it. Okay, so now it's gonna remove packages. It's gonna install the new packages, update the namespace. My assumption is that it's not going to, because it can't be full. It can't be 100%. You know what I mean? Like, I think the thing is, it's an assistant. It's not a doing everything, right? So what it should tell me at the end of the day is like, here are some things that I need to do manually to actually get it across the line. And I'm okay with that. When I talked to a bunch of people, I was saying like, I don't even know if I would use this. I would just do it all manually. I think the biggest changes that are needed are changing the namespaces pretty much and adding some scaffolding. But I think even with this, I might throw away a bunch of the work. I'm not going to lie about it, but I want to see what happens here. So interested. So interested. I don't know. It's happening. This is going through all the Android stuff, right? Add project properties for the Maui projects. Like the thing is it going to give me more than I need at the end of the day? Man, that's cool though. Is it doing it? Where's the backup? Vitri, thank you for the subscription. If you're watching the live stream, drop a hello in the chat over there. Drink some coffee. I need some more coffee. I've only had 2 coffees today. All right, it's doing stuff. So that's added a main application CS for the Android one. Billy says, I wonder if it will work on a Xamarin Prism app. It's a good question. What I would probably, it's not going to migrate the Prism stuff, so I bet that you're going to have some issues there, I would assume. But I would run it first like I did, just on your, what is this, initializing upgrade step to, what is that? How am I, what's going on there? That seems odd. I don't know why it's updating WCF services to core WCF services. Okay, it's updating the namespaces, the main activity. My assumption, Billy, is that it would probably, if you did it on just the .NET standard library, is it probably get you pretty far the way there. And then what it really comes down to is how many breaking changes from the Prism stuff to the non-Prism stuff happen pretty much in general. It's taking a while, but I guess it's doing stuff. things are happening. I'm gonna keep refreshing this until it does some stuff. I guess it would be a lot of button clicks because if you run it on the solution. My other fear here is that I also have some other projects in here, like a web project. So I wonder what it's going to do there, if it's going to try to migrate that as well. It shouldn't, because it's already on .NET 6, I think. Maybe .NET 5, I'm not positive. I feel like it's like rerunning the analyzers. Oh, these are different fixes. Okay. So this one is saying it's going to remove all the Xamarin.Forms references, remove all the Xamarin Essential references in these files. And there shouldn't be that many of them. Let's see if it already did all the other ones. It's only doing on the Android one first. So it says, making sure that this stuff's installed, cleaning up package references. It's going to upgrade these packages. Okay. I have it open here. I wonder if that has any issues with it. I'll close that just in case. Now Visual Studio Code's going to upgrade. All right. All right. Everyone likes to look at this. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, it's doing stuff. Okay, so it's going to apply fix for that. Okay, there we go. Things are happening. Whoa. Now it's doing iOS. All right. I think that this is nice, that it converts the projects from the old style to the new style additionally there. So this one's pretty easy. That one migrated that project over, which is cool. So if I actually open that project again over here. Yeah, the best thing to do is create a branch and just try it. That's what I'm kind of looking at here in general, right? So if I open up here's the Android project, right? So this is kind of cool. Like here's the diff. So I'm just gonna it's tiny. Removes all that stuff, a bunch of globbing, a bunch of other stuff that's not needed. That's cool. And then let's see what the this other one does, which is this main one. Yeah, so it kind of tries not to touch too much stuff, right? So it just updates these areas, adds the areas, adds a bunch of stuff in here. That's not too bad. Okay. It's still doing stuff. So now it's going through the community toolkit stuff. I'm going to close this just in case. Yeah, so it's a pretty nice diff. So you can see exactly what's happening here. And yeah, the diff for iOS and Android is going to be really nice, right? Because this is going to basically remove so much stuff in here, because you don't need any of these properties that are automatically set for you automatically. Probably doesn't need my key store stuff either, but it ends up adding this target framework down here, and then yeah, it just gets rid of a bunch of stuff basically. Yeah, that's super nice that it just handles that stuff. Let's see what else it's doing. It's still doing stuff. So now it's updating the code. So it upgraded the project system first. It did the NuGet packages. Now it's doing this stuff. So that's pretty cool. Coming for it says, I missed the beginning. Is the converting to a single project or keeping the project structure? So specifically, the upgrade assistant does not change it to a single project. It's just too much for it to handle basically in general. So that's part of the manual process that we're going to go through next. What we want to do is just see how far does this get us, and can we just run the thing? And that would be crazy if you could. But I'll show you how I'm going to do the single project, and we'll see if people like it or not. But I think it's going to be the easier route in my opinion. So there's that. Osni says, prioritize Linux support for .NET MAUI. Well, there is some community work that's been going on there in general, but I think the team's focus on the platforms that they have today and getting that up and perfect and polished and things like that. So, you know, there's never been any announcements or things like that. So Maeve says, we manually transitioned Xamarin.Forms to MAUI, but we did it in the early days. A lot of NuGets weren't there. They moved Prism to Shell, which was messy. Our VMs were largely untouched, though. That makes sense. Whoa, it happened. Okay, cool. Let's open it. Oh my gosh. Let's do it. Volmarung says, yeah, I'm using Xcode 13.4. Yeah, you can turn off the linker or turn on the linker. It says in there, but I would install the latest version of Xcode, at least 14.0. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, Clifford. Yeah, I saw your thing. Yeah, let's drum roll. I'm just gonna open the solution. Ah, Elliot's like drum roll. That's not good. Oh, it actually loaded it. Okay. Did it touch any of this? I bet I don't. Okay, it didn't touch any of this. That's good. And then the API. Wait a second. No, it changed the API to. That's 7. Oh my god, that's not correct. Okay, so that's not what we wanted to have happen there. How do I change that back? That's hilarious. Okay, so the first thing is, don't let it change your API stuff. That's funny. Okay, so let's undo that. Okay. Can I open this? Ooh, it should have a viewer. I thought you said there was a viewer. Tools? Open static analysis results as Sarah? Okay, cool. So okay, here we go. Is there supposed to be a visualizer for it? Okan, thank you for the subscription. How do I view it? Analyze. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Oh, Osni, yeah, there's a new version of it that you got to do, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this should be net. I guess I could move this to net 6. I'm just going to unload this for now because I don't really have it. Let's see. Well, I think the team is focused on prioritizing key bug fixes and key features that are required that enable scenarios that developers need for those platforms in general. But are you building and deploying for Linux today? Like, are you shipping apps, Osni? Like, what are you doing on Linux? I'd be super interested to know. I'm also gonna, okay, so I double tap on edit project file. So there's a bunch of stuff in here. That's fascinating. It is using .NET 8 stuff, but it has all these properties and other things. There's the .NET 7 Android stuff. It has my stuff in here. Okay. Let's clean the whole thing. Oh, cool. There you go. You're working on it with Mud Blazor, which is cool. Yeah, I think there's some scenarios that could be unlocked maybe with the Blazor hybrid stuff in general. I'm just going to rebuild. I'm going to see if it builds. Let's see. Sylvester? I'm not positive what you mean there. Okay, so a few things. Let's see. So system drawing color, is this ambiguous? I think I do want a system drawing color. Okay, let's try that out. This is my code, MVVM helpers. Okay, command. There is a command in MAUI controls command, but I think it was my command. So let's fix that up. If I look at this, so this uses multi-targeting, so that's kind of cool. Doesn't use a single project. We still have the fonts, the resources. It still has this embedded resource stuff. MAUI program. Okay, it calls app. Just loads app, and then the thing. That all looks correct. Do we have errors? Ooh. Let's see here. Yep. Okay, so it looks like so should be colors, right? Okay, so this is supposed to be so I messed that up. So actually, if I go back into my code, so this is actually good just to see if stuff compiles. So this should actually be a that should be a Microsoft.MAUI graphics.color. I think so. Let's see if that fixes that up. Oh no. This should be, and then this should be colors. Yeah, color. Okay, so these are colors. So I know that those change, so we gotta fix those up. It's interesting it didn't change up. Maybe it didn't know based on my namespace. Okay, so this is app theme. Okay, so that's changed. That's different. Okay. All right, that's good. And then this is this is added as a dependency. Let's build that. I noticed it still had a preview version. Yeah, I think it needs to, that needs to be upgraded as well. Yeah, on here it probably needs to be upgraded. Yeah, 3.0.0. Let's just update it and see. So it's definitely one thing. And probably here we need to update those as well. I did, yeah, it just came out. So I think the tool needs to be updated. You know what I mean? I like that I can tap on those things now. So that's based on .NET 7. So good call, Elliot. Okay, cool. I like that there's so many like weird errors and things happening. It's cool that we're doing this together. Yep. Yeah, it's not the same as a desktop app. Yeah, I hear ya. Yeah. I think the other thing that you could look at, right, is there's plenty of, there's other frameworks for .NET that do support Linux today. So there's nothing like stopping you from necessarily like going down that route if that's something that you need. This thing can't. Make sure my project references are correct. It's there. Oh, it probably needs. No, what is it yelling at? My coffee app. Okay, I think let me just build this. Build failed. Okay. Why? Let me rebuild it. Okay. So this is, I have to add the dot use. This is good. Actually, is there a refactoring that tells me to do this? Please tell me there is. Yes, there is. That's great. Gotcha. No. Okay, let's see if this builds. I like that it gives me an error though, because that's really nice about that. Ooh, okay, interesting. So item. Okay, so let's see what failed here. There's the toolkit. And this has some item selected event arcs converter. Selected item. I guess they changed the name of it to this. Okay. All right, so that's one thing. What else? What other errors do we have? Same one, because I use the same thing there. That's cool. Same thing there. I don't know. I just don't have it in more places. All right, let's see. One step at a time. All right, let's move this into here. Did that work? It did. Okay, cool. So one thing that's fascinating about this is we still have all of our drawables and all of our stuff in here too. Oh, interesting. Oh, weird. Okay, so it didn't convert our activity over. Well, this is system drawing color. Let's make it a graphics.color. Interesting. So it didn't end up converting this over. It did add the MAUI app. It didn't update the main activity though. Interesting. It did .android, which is not great. I guess it is called .android. But yeah. Okay. So I think you would need to, let me open another app and see what it looks like here. This is my source generator one now. You know, yeah, it depends on what you're working with. OSNI, it's like, you know, right tool for the right job, depending on what you're looking for, I guess, you know, and is there. So I think what we need to do is we need to go into platform Android here, and we probably just need to copy this over. And then let's copy that in there. Let's get this namespace in here. Boop. Oh. Okay. And then I think I can move these as well. Delete. I'm going to delete all this stuff. So it's interesting it didn't end up doing this, but oh yeah, this can go down here. Yeah, and I don't want it to be an Android namespace. I think that's bad. How do I set my namespace? Default. I'm gonna end up throwing this away, but I really want to kind of get it like in here. So if you look at the main activity, I couldn't do this. I think if I do global, that'll fix that stuff up. Okay. Probably root namespace. Yeah, that's probably what it needs to be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is a root namespace, because the root namespace should be .droid, not Android, because then you run into all these conflicts, but it doesn't really matter too much. Okay. Okay, then there's a random file that I don't need anymore, which is in my assembly info, so we just delete all that. Oh, this is kind of cool. It added these. I didn't. Ooh, that's cool. All right. Oh man, so close. Runtime designer. I think I want to like clean that out. My need to like close and reopen. To platform color. Ooh. Color. Doesn't that not exist anymore? Color verter dot. That's got to exist, right? No, that's not what I want. There is a... Is it to platform? I could just like do a dot on it. To Android. There it is. Platform.current activity. It's that one. Oh gosh, yeah, that's all good. It's very mad because it's like only supported. Okay. App context. Platform. Cool, cool, cool. Video on demand. Yeah, Lars, it's already there. You're already watching the video on demand, except for it's live. But no, you can like scrub back and forth. It's just the same link. Yeah. So let's see. Clifford said, this is what I got with all the form stuff. Still in the Android and iOS project. Yeah, it doesn't convert those overs, which makes sense. But you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to... Oh, man, let's see. I'm going to unload the iOS one. I just want to see if I can get the Android one working at all. Wouldn't that be wild if so? Why is it... Oh, it is building the iOS one. Okay. That's good. Huh. Oh, I see. It's like, okay. Oh, gosh. Oh, and it has this... What is going on here? Oh, this must be generated. No. Android assembly info. Oh, I must have done it from here. Okay, so we want to delete all this stuff. Because it's being generated. File info, we don't need that stuff, so let's get rid of that stuff. It's the small things, right? Interesting. Oh, it's like duplicate. Oh, wow, interesting. Duplicate entry. Clean succeeded. Yeah, I probably need to delete my bin and obj files, actually. Sometimes you need to clean the whole solution, too. Duplicate. Okay, so it says there's a duplicate of this. So that means it must exist somewhere else. Maybe I don't need that anymore. You know what I mean? I always thought this was generated. Okay, let's delete it. Yeah, get out of here. And I wonder if it's generated. I wonder if it's just generated automatically behind the scenes now, is my assumption. You know what I mean? So I don't actually need that at all. To delete that file, it's like, oh, it's being generated somewhere else. Yeah. And then the other thing too that's really probably fascinating to do is I bet if you were to go into, let's say you just create a new project, okay? And let's say we just create a new mobile Android. And you go to the bottom and you want this one. This is the .NET 7 version of it, right? So let's say we just do this. And then let's see what it looks like, right? And that's always the thing to compare and contrast, right? So inside of this, there is no resource designer file that was checked in inside there. So that's good. And if you double tap on this, so there's like nothing in here. So my assumption is that you could delete almost everything inside of here, like all this stuff you get rid of, all this stuff you get rid of. You put this in here, obviously. These are my NuGet packages, and then this thing you probably want to get rid of. That's probably what you want it to look like at the end of the day, right? Yeah, Lars asked in the chat, what's your opinion on porting medium to large size apps that are live? Should me and my company spend time now porting it or wait? I think with .NET 7, it's a good time to start porting your applications over, analyzing it, seeing what needs to be done in general for your application, and seeing if all the libraries and all the things are there. I would do it as a like next, type of step, right? Like, is there a reason? Like, what could be your timeline, your deadline? Like Xamarin and Xamarin.Forms will be supported until 2024, so you got a lot of time there. But you might want to look at saying like, okay, is it worth me trying to go about it now or not, and move it over if necessary. I think this is all be okay. So I would say probably like I said, now is like the time that I'm starting to do stuff, so it's definitely worth a look. And then mostly the thing to analyze really is, I don't know why this isn't connecting. Okay, it didn't display my emulators, but it is gonna go to one. Okay. What's it doing? It's being weird. So it found it at least. I would say if you are specifically looking at, if you're specifically looking at like using some of those new features or doing some new things, like definitely take a look at it. Again, I would probably say like give yourself a migration story pass. If you're starting to add a lot of new features and do a lot of stuff, then you probably want to plan it in one of your sprints to take a look at it and see where you're at. The biggest thing to take a look at is specifically the libraries that you're using, and can they come over basically. Just for proof point, I'm going to delete this. Just to make sure here. I mean, it just worked. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Dan, the good question about adaptive layouts and adaptive things. Yeah, it's totally possible. There's a bunch of different, basically, visual state managers that you want to look at. Visual State Manager, and you can automatically adjust things. I'd also say look at Flexbox or Flex Layout. That will do a lot of stuff for you automatically. You also have on platform and on idiom, which enables you to do things in a bunch of different ways. But Visual State Manager can adjust your states and your things based on all sorts of different things, but basically it can automatically adjust based on sizes and landscape, portrait, horizontal, things like that. Sorry if I'm dropping frames. I'm exporting. I'm debugging. I'm so worried. I don't have a splash screen, but that's maybe okay. Oh my gosh. Whoa. It happened. And I got to say I'm a live preview. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the fonts aren't working, but I haven't configured them in .NET MAUI. Whoa! Yeah, that is a wow moment. That is a wow moment. That's wild. Oh, we got a crasher. My coffee. Okay, we got a crasher. Probably something I was doing. Let's see my coffee view model. Okay. Where did I get a crasher at? Line 77. Where's my line numbers? Tool. How come I don't have line numbers on? Oh, thank goodness. I probably did it to save space. Patrick, thank you for the subscription. 77. Okay, so something crashed inside of here. If possible, please stop background light animation. It's just, I don't know what you mean. What background? Oh, this thing back here? Over here? Yeah, let me see. I can adjust that. Let me look over here. I think the camera shows it a little bit weird. Whoa. Hello, application. So big. Ooh. It looks like my app is not working for some reason. Let's just see if it's on my thing. My assumption is my coffee service. Oh, I think it's mostly because there's a bug in SQLite-net where you need to install the raw below it, which is like pretty interesting. Let's try that one out. Oh, he did. He has a new version. I think that's the other thing y'all were saying is like, is there any updates? So right here, he has one. He has a beta. He pulled it in. Yeah, it's a thing. Mm-hmm. Boom. I'm a little scared to update my monkey cache to it. But yeah, so I think there's that. Indeed. He did it. Yes. So that's pretty impressive, actually, at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, I'm not using a lot of crazy third-party libraries, but I am using some community toolkit stuff. I'm using, you know, a bunch of other stuff in here. So that's pretty cool. That just seems, you know, it launched. It did its thing. It still has my app icon. Doesn't have my splash screen, but, you know, there's a new MAUI splash screen that I need to put in. But yeah, let's see if the animations work. Whoa, there's some new styling that kind of happened on my buttons, which is kind of cool. Obviously, my fonts aren't there because I would need to register my fonts as well. But let's see if my theming works. There's a few oddities here with the app. It looks like for some reason my touch events aren't working. So some things there, that's for sure. But that's pretty cool that like it seems to have worked to some extent. Oh, did they break? Did it break? Oh, someone reported a bug or something on that. And I just tested it. It seemed maybe they fixed it. Something's broken here on whatever I did. .NET 6 they worked. Gotcha. They'll fix it. They'll fix it. My computer's struggling a little bit over here. I need time for a new computer. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now comes a real question. Did it do the it did not. So the images, so that's a great question, Billy, is that it didn't do, didn't put any of my fonts. This already existed, right? There was already a resource folder with fonts here. But it didn't know to come in and configure fonts, for example, right? So this was still using these assembly export fonts, but they don't seem to work anymore because they just don't, because you need to use the new ones. The dependency injection service, all that other stuff seemed to work, which is good. So query properties, navigating around, that all seemed to work in general. And then of course, I think if we redeploy, let's see if the stuff works in general with the new 1.9 version of SQLite-NET. Hoping and praying. Basically, I think there was an issue where it wasn't installing the raw underneath thing there. Did I do the property conversion? Yep, so that'd be the next thing. But I'm going to here's the thing, is everything I just did, I'm going to get rid of. See if the databases work. No, it still breaks somewhere. That might be something else. Let me see. Try one more time. So Clifford, he was in the chat, says, my plan is to file new with MAUI single project and slowly copy things over. So here's the thing. So far, yes, that's definitely my plan as well. But also no at the same time. If that makes if that makes sense. Oh, I didn't even get here. Oh, something else must be null. Maybe the injection stuff didn't work or something else. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. So the next step here is this. I don't like that I don't have all the new single project. I don't have a bunch of new stuff. So Clifford here is right. So the next thing actually to do here in the conversion is what the important part that happened here is that it gave us infrastructure, right? It gave us the updates to our app shell, to our resources. It handled all the conversions of the namespaces and all this stuff for us automatically. So the next thing to actually be done is this, is going in and adding a new project, and specifically adding a new MAUI project. So this is what is here. I don't want to manually try to update all my namespaces on my other stuff, but what I do want to do is do my coffee app dot. It doesn't really it doesn't matter what I call it. I'm just going to call it next version right now, because I'm going to move stuff over, right? And I'm going to do .NET 7. Because I still want all of the stuff that I want and need. So this is really the approach that I would take at this point. Is I think running the tool, I don't even know if I would run it on the Android and iOS projects. I think I would just run it on the .NET Standard project, right? And then what I would do is I would create a new project called vnext, and I would start moving stuff over, just like y'all are talking about. So here, for example, I would immediately move all my fonts over here. Actually, I don't even need custom font. I don't even know why it's there. Boom. And I'd probably delete these two that are in here. Delete, just like that. Move this over. Make sure those properties are correct. These are MAUI font, just like Billy said. And this is the way to do it, is go in to your projects and start to delete stuff, right? This is vnext that's in here. The root namespace can just be my coffee app, right? My coffee app, just like that, right? Just start to move that stuff over. And then I can say my coffee app, just like that. Everything else is going to be the same. This is all great, right? So now that we have this, all we need to do is go into my main activity, and we're going to grab this stuff here, copy this, and I'm going to put this into my vnext. I'm going to go platforms, Android. I'm going to do Android new class. I'm going to say, and this is going to be my, let's call this toaster. Let's do one at a time. And I'm just going to do platforms. Then we're going to move the toaster over. Boop. Just like that. Cool. And then I'm gonna add in. Okay, that's fine there. And then I'm gonna add in my new item, environment. Boop. Again, just do that. Oh, that should be in Android. Yes. Move that over here. Again, my whole plan here is to get it into a single project, right? So we're gonna move this in here. And now what I wanna do is do that. Cool. Now, just like y'all are saying, is we wanna just start moving things in. Now that we've converted all the namespaces, move it all in. Just boom, move it in, move it in, move it in, move it in, move it in. Just like that. Done. Then what you want to do is I just need to update my app. So here's my resources. So I'm going to take these resources that I have in my resource dictionary. Right? Boom. And I'm going to pull that into my, I'm going to create another style. So down here, we're going to create another, there's a style already, but I want to create another item. And I'm going to do a resource dictionary. We'll call this my style, or coffee app style. So, okay. And I think what you also need to do is you need to put this in there too. All right. It's a resource dictionary. So we want to take all the things that are in here, put them in here, but then delete this resource dictionary. Boop. Cool. Then what we want to do is we want to, there's an icon, there's a feed icon. I would say we're going to take our, yeah, right here. This is the IC launcher foreground. And yep, we're going to put that into our app icons. None. Okay. We need that. We also need, I don't think we actually have any, we're not using any other icons or other things like that. So that's good, actually. Any assets? No. Okay. Main app doesn't do anything. So then we just delete this. Remove. Boom. Right? Then we go into iOS and we do the same thing. So we have a app delegate and we have those same items. So I have an environment class. There is no toaster, so that's good. So let's just do this. Go into platforms. I go into iOS, add new item, and say environment. Oops. Cool. And then get rid of this. Weird. I don't know what I was doing. Paste that in there. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and this is a Microsoft graphics.color. Now, actually, to platform, yeah. So what's kind of interesting about this is we probably don't actually need this code anymore because it's all in. It's all in. Yeah, it's all actually in the community toolkit now, I think, for setting these graphic colors. But there's that. So we're gonna get rid of this. And honestly, there's nothing else that we need in here. So I don't think we need anything. Like, delete it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Well, not this, but sorry, my iOS app. There's nothing else in here, right? So I just delete this. Delete. Boom. Okay. So this is looking better. Now, what else do I need to do? Well, I need my app map shell in. So let's do that. So this is looking good. Let's see if I can just copy and paste this, I think, right? So take this, come over here, go into my app shell. Boop. There we go. Delete this main page. Delete. Done. Let me look at my code behind for the shell. I have some routes. Cool. I could have just moved these files in too. I guess it would have been easier too. Clean up some of these namespaces. That's better. Oh yeah, it should be there. There should be my coffee app. Yep. That should be my coffee app. And then here we should add another style. This is the coffee app styles. Cool. All right. I guess I could just added them in there. You know what I mean, too. There's nothing else in there. Is there anything else in here? Nope. Code behind. Yes. We have a few things. So we have this package name that we're going to set. Clean up this namespace. Cool, cool, cool. I don't know why it doesn't do the better namespaces. That's odd. I also need to bring in my NuGet packages. So we're going to do an item group. Pulling these NuGet packages down here. Again, so now it's gonna add all this junk in here. We don't need that. Get rid of this. And then I can just add these. I guess I just need these. Boop. Go in here. Done. And kind of like Clifford said, like I think this is the approach that I want to take, is I want to run the tool, clean the namespaces, do the packages, kind of get it in a space that's basically compiling. And then what I want to do is actually convert it over to 100% MAUI, right? That's like what I want to do. So let's add our MAUI toolkit. Cool, cool, cool. I like these on new lines. Don't get rid of my new lines over here. All right. Boop. Now let's pull this in. So then now what we need to do is we need to configure our fonts. Okay. So there's a lot of work going through that stuff, but like now we're in a better place where if I go into my resources and I go into my fonts, we should be able to now do our FA brands 400. And I think what I had called it before, if I remember, is FAB, FAS, FAR, okay. So then we have this, FA brands, FA regular, 400, FA solid, 900. That should work, so configure those. That's good, that's good, that's good. And then really what you want to do is, if I'm doing this correct, is, let me look at my app one more time here. We have this. Okay, we have all these updates here. So this is good. Let's take this code and shove it in here. Cool. Now we're just migrating code over. Monkey cache, the theme. And then what you want to do is you want to go into each of these and you want to just clean it up, right? Let Visual Studio clean up your files. So go line by line, clean it here. We can have it do a, it should update to 2.0, but I'm a little scared right now. Let's have it clean up all the namespaces for the project. Cool, cool, cool. The theme. Whoa, what is it? Why is it red? There we go. Cool. That's good. Platforms. Let's just make sure. Again, I just kind of go like one line by line here, right? Making sure that like each file is good to go. So I'm just gonna clean that up because I don't want it to be next version. That's good. And there we go. Okay, delete this. Cool. Environment. That's good already. Program. Hey, this could be that. Just do this. Cool. Program. I don't have the Tizen stuff installed, but if I did, it would work, I assume. There we go. Windows. Now this here, I'm going to update the namespace. But I also need to update it here. There we go. That should work. That's all good. Services. Again, we're just going to go. Now what we're going to do is we're delete our dependency injection service stuff because we don't want that anymore. Right? We're also going to add our reference to our coffee app shared. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Let's make sure that this adds a namespace in there. That's good. Line by line as we go down the road here. Internet coffees done. Cool. Now there is some JSON converting here, which I probably wouldn't want to do. And we could update that code as well, but that would be on the list of things to do. Got our toaster, we got our view models. We'll come back to these puppies. This is gonna be fun. So we go through, we start updating this stuff. All right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna leave our query properties on there. That's fine. Add that. We're gonna do this. Cool, cool, cool. Add those in there. Again, we're just gonna go ahead and do this. Perfect. And then let's get this. So just kind of going through. You know what I mean? And these ones should all be fine, like all this stuff in here from like what we saw. But again, I'm sort of I want to go through. I don't need any of those things basically. And here this is creating an internet coffee. So we probably actually don't want that. So we're going to start to first clean up the namespaces like we're doing here. We get rid of all the XAML compilation stuff because it's just cluttering our code for no reason because it already does it. Let's add that in there. Cool. Same thing, just go ahead and clean up the namespaces. Because really it's about wood global. Yeah, that's next on our list. Yes, 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 yes. You're reading my mind. Yes. So yeah, what I would do is I would do probably, well, we'd take a look at our global usings if we want to put them in there. I know some people are a fan of them and some people aren't, but you know, I'm definitely a fan of them. Yeah, you're reading my mind, Clifford. You're reading my mind. So let's clean up the app first, make it look nice and cleaned up. Because half of the battle is like just cleaning the code, right? Is like I want to use more modern features. I want to make sure that my code's a little bit more readable. And this is going to just take me step by step here in this process. So luckily Visual Studio handles all this for us automatically, which is just a delight. So again, we're going to add in our helpers. The theme is good. Let's go ahead and add, oops. Go ahead and add a namespace there. My program. Boom. Oh, the templates aren't doing the new thing. That's cool. So now what we want to do is this, is the next step in the process is we have this coffee service stuff. And this looks good. We have our internet coffee service stuff. This is also good. Here, what we'd want to do is, it's just a internet. Wait, what is this thing that I created? Oh, a static class. That's weird. Maybe I don't make it static. Oh, I see what I did. Oh, interesting. Is that what I did here? Why did I do it that way? All right, we'll ignore that for now. We'll ignore that one for now. But, so here we probably want to do a few things. Like, we want to inject our coffee service. So let's start moving stuff around. There we go. And we're going to get rid of the dependency service. So at this point, I think we're probably done with that one. Not 100% sure, but let's see. And then here we would say this.coffee service equals coffee service. All right, my coffee app. We're going to want to get access again to the coffee service. Let's do this. Xamarin did not support Xbind, just normal binding. It's never added support for it. There is compiled bindings and things like that, but yeah, that's I don't know if they're ever going to do that. Okay, that looks okay. All right, image cache service. All right, view model base. So the next thing to do is also inject in our view models, right? Like I don't want to actually do this. I want to inject our view models down the line. And I'll say binding context. So this is how I would start converting it, right? It's like one at a time. Is like make my code look a little bit better. Like let's, you know, not set the bindings here manually. As Alan knows, I'm not like wasn't a huge dependency injection fan, but like now I'm all in. You know what I mean? Like let's do it. Equals VM. Pass that in. Details page. This doesn't take stuff. Okay, it takes a coffee service. All right, that's cool. And then we'll say this dot. This takes in a coffee service. Is this taking a view model? Is there a view model on this thing? No. That's good, okay. My coffee view model, so we get rid of these here. Pass it in. So again, I'm just kind of like This is how I would do it, right? At this point, it's like, let's just start to move these things out and really clean it up. Let's look at this, and then you do. A little bit tedious, right? So I can do that, do that. I gotta sneeze. Maybe not. Good question, Clifford. So you lose the code completion when you move the binding to the code bind? No, as long as you have your X cola data type set correctly. So as long as you have that in there, you're gonna be just fine. So that's the thing that you want to set, basically. That's the compiled bindings that you want to set on your app, basically, if that makes sense. Then here you need to do this for here, is you'd also need to do a, on each of these, have a coffee, right? So that'd be each of the coffees that are in here. So as long as you have that set up, the X data types or the compiled bindings, then you're totally good to go. Yep. So this one here, move this here, move this in. And I think I would do a global using for like probably the view models. I feel like that's probably in the services, maybe in the helpers. It's probably enough. Yeah, we're almost there. Okay. Again, so we got this thing. We're gonna get rid of this. Cool. And again, we're just gonna pass this in. Again, because I want to use all the new stuff, right? That's what we want to do. Make sure that this is coming in. Image cache. Get rid of this here. So if you were following that, that would be, you know, let's do a global using, actually. Let's do my add new item. And then let's do a, then my coffee app dot view models. It's probably good. Clean those up. Okay, cool. This is our image cache. Login page. We had a login view model, but that's not even here. Maybe we didn't have one. Did we not? Okay, that's fine. Registration. Oh, this was just like a static data, right? All right, settings page. Didn't have anything there. That's good. So now what we can do is in our app shell, or sorry, our Maui program, is we can start registering stuff, right? So we can now come in and say, hey Julia, how's it going? Let's do builder.services, and let's first do our add singleton, and let's add an I coffee service, just like that, right? And then a builder.services.add singleton, and then I'm going to do environment. I guess I need to actually pass it a thing, which would be a, oh, I think I can just do, yeah, I can just do the coffee service. I don't, it should figure it out, right? And then environment. Yep. Yep. Is it mad at me? Oh, there we go. And this should be my toast. What did I call it? Toaster. Okay. Guess I could do services too, right? There you go. All right, cool. So take that out. Now I do need to do a few other things. Is I need to paste in a few like blank implementations of this stuff. So just get rid of some of this stuff here as a core level, because I don't have toasters in these other applications, but it'd be cool to get them working there. Same thing here. I'm going to copy this over here. I don't think I really need to do anything here, so we're just going to delete this. Actually, this code works, funnily enough. Okay. Because it's on Mac, but I don't think I need to do anything for Mac, so let's just delete that for now. And then once we have that, we move that into Tizen, move that into Windows. Cool, cool, cool. Now everything's going to build up because we just have the same namespace, same stuff there. And then, oh yeah, it doesn't need to be environment. It needs to be our my coffee app dot environment dot platforms dot environment. This needs to be my coffee app dot platforms dot toaster. There we go. I need vertical options on toast. Do. This one just has like a generic one. I would just use the built-in, the new one basically that's there. So then what we end up doing is we need to register our view models, right? So builder.services.addTransient. And here we would just do all of our view models pretty much. So we have our internet view model, just like that. Then we're going to have our add my coffee. We're going to have our my coffee view model, our coffee equipment view model, our image cache view model. There you go. That's it, really. And then we're going to add all of our pages too. So we're just going to do our add my coffee page. So again, we're just going to put these all in here. Could you do a folder like add view models? That'd be cool if so. No, I don't. Yeah. You got to add them all manually. What I would probably do is make this an extension method and then put them in a separate file. That's what we do in the podcast app. This would be internet. Let's just align these. So internet coffee page, add my coffee page, my coffee details page, my stored coffee page, animation page. Those could be singletons too. It kind of depends. Coffee equipment page. Coffee equipment CV page. Coffee image cache page. Login page. Registration page. Settings page. All right. Then, yeah, what we want to do now is go in and say manage NuGet packages. Let's look what we have. I'm a little scared to upgrade my own package, so we're not going to do it. So then what we do is community toolkit.mvvm, install this puppy, boom. So this is the manual work, right? It's kind of like, okay, we have this stuff working, doing the stuff. This is good. Oh, what did I do? Did I break this? Okay, I want to do this. Yeah, it's up to you, Spoof, if you want to do it that way. Yeah, you're totally good to go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know, you can't really do much in here. So, like, yeah, I'm going to make sure I, like, delete this stuff here. Yeah, these globs. Yeah, not for the registration system that I've seen, at least. That would be kind of cool if so. That'd be neat. I think what I also want to do here is, like, it'd be kind of cool if I do resources, app icon, and then here, splash. I'm gonna call this a rename coffee splash. I'll say rename coffee icon. Okay. And then what I think I want to do here is for the foreground file, this would be coffee icon PNG. And then, oops. And then here I'd want to do, I'm just kind of jumping around all over the place. Coffee splash.png. That should work. Let's see. Okay. Are the MAUI controls all released? They're all released. They're all in there. They're all in there in V1. Some of them have old renderers, but most of them have been upgraded to newer renderers by now, I think. But yeah. I think this is fine. It really depends. Some people like every single different file that's in there, you know, in general. It's a big list, but it's not like the worst list in the world. So there's that. I know this is going to build or not, but we'll see. I'm fascinated if I broke everything. But what we also want to do now is, like, now that we have this puppy installed, boom. The next logical step is to delete all of our commands. All the commands, delete them. And then do a relay command. Boop. Naturally, this is like the next evolutionary step here. And then probably also do global usings for those, because it'd be like way better. I'm dropping some frames. Yeah. Yeah, this is like the next level stuff, right? So let's delete all of our commands. Delete our commands there. And I actually want to get rid of this. And I just want to do like string title. And then bool is busy. And then public bool is not busy. And do n. This would be fine because this could be our observable object, which is coming from I want to get rid of MVVM helpers. There we go. Pretty much get rid of all my libraries. This would be an observable property. This here would be the is busy. This would also be public partial class, and then this would be also let's do that. Cool. That's good. I don't know if I use other things, but we'll find out. That's good. Cool. These would be public partial. Let's get rid of all these things. Let's do it in our really clean it up. Let's get rid of MVVM. That's fine, I guess. Okay. And then, yeah, we want to delete basically. Does that generate both of them? Because that'd be kind of cool if so. I think it does. That's actually really neat if you just do both of those. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm gonna get rid of this. Make this a partial, get rid of this, just really delete the code. Okay. Go through the next one. And then delete this stuff. Delete all this stuff. Make this a partial class. Delete this stuff like we're talking about. Relay command, relay command, relay command, relay command. Done, done, done. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Coffee equipment. Again, just get rid of this. Get rid of this command thing. Get rid of all of our commands. Get rid of all this junk. Get rid of all this junk. And then do a public partial class. So again, this is how I would do it. Oh, see you, Clifford. Glad you enjoyed. I'm gonna try to finish this up and try to run it. We'll see. That's the ticket. You know what I mean? That's the ticket. We'll see if that works. Do observable property. There we go. Refresh. Load more. I don't know if I do that with that. If I call clear. I probably should have looked at the commands that I was just... What are all the commands I just deleted? Was there a clear command? Oh, there is a clear command and delay. Okay, cool. So I did have those. Doesn't hurt to add those on there. Boom, boom, boom. Image cache. So we have here. So we're gonna get rid of those. This is just a public property that I call. Let's see. I think this one's probably okay. That's kind of funny. Like I actually need to put this into a async task of refresh long. Do that, do that. This is the better way of doing it. Our relay, oh, great question, Billy. Are relay commands async commands? Fantastic. I'm glad that you asked that. This will just be refresh. Async. This will just be a void of refresh. So there's no async stuff in there, so that's good. And actually, like, I don't know why I do that, but I think I can do... I'll show you exactly what happens here. Cool, get rid of this. Then relay command. So relay command is the property, is the attribute that will automatically source generate the stuff for us. Now we do need to make these partial classes because the source code is being generated. So if I now go into my dependencies and I look at this here, ooh, I didn't even add, oh, and this is the wrong one. If I go into here and I look at my dependencies and I look at my analyzers, we're going to see all of these. I have some videos on this. We have all of our analyzers, but specifically we want our MVVM source generators. And if we look at the relay command generator, it hasn't generated this stuff for us yet. Why not? Let me see. I need to maybe recompile. Maybe it's doing the Windows one. Ah, here we go. So what it's done is it's generated all these files here, right? So if we look at that image cache, there's two in here. There's a refresh and a refresh long. Now what that attribute does is it says, go implement iRelay command, and it generates the source code for a refresh command. And it'll automatically create that relay command for us. Now, if you have a task and it's asynchronous, like this one, it will implement an iasync relay command automatically and call it refresh command long. And that creates a new async relay command. So that all handles it for you automatically. So you don't need any of my MVVM stuff at all. It's their own implementation that's like super way better, basically. Yeah. So what it does is it'll take, if you look at this, it takes the refresh and appends on command. So now there is a refresh command generated for us automatically, which is pretty cool. And the same thing here for this image. Notice that I'm referencing image here, and if I go to definition, it's in this source generated code that automatically handles the getters and setters for us automatically, which is pretty cool. Like, that's pretty neat. And does all the changing and changes and all this stuff for us automatically. All there for us, which is nice. Cool. It's my favorite thing. Go watch all my videos on it, pretty much. Okay. So the next thing is, I think I've done all this stuff. So lots of code cleanup, lots of stuff in here. Selected coffee. Okay, it doesn't actually do it, I guess, if it needs to be on its own line, I guess. It's fascinating. Let me look at my, I thought maybe it would do it, but it creates better code for you. That's the thing, is all their code is super optimized, which is rad. So that's my favorite part of all of it, I would say. Okay. So I'm going to build it. I'm going to see what happens. Okay, we don't have a title. Oh, that should be there. View model base. I'm going to toggle this to... Oops. Let me close all this stuff. Error list. Should have created it. Then I'll spell it correct. Okay. So let's do this. I think now I feel that, oh, I think I might have, oh, okay. There's a few compilation errors. All right, okay. See what other errors I have. Okay, selected coffee versus selected coffee. Oh, I probably have a... It does exist. Okay, image is being used as a type. Let's do a clean over here. It is much, much cleaner, yeah. It does not exist. It exists because it's here. Some with iOS is being funky. It all looks good to me. All right. now what I think I want to do is a few things. I think I want to go in, and I think I've officially migrated everything over. And what I want to do is take my coffee app and I want to delete it from here because I want to like see the migration in place. Is it possible to MVVM bind the splash screens at different screens for different occasions? I think you could do that like manually maybe. Yeah. I'm not positive though. It's a good question. See if they'll let me delete this stuff. Try again. I might need to close a few things. Really, it doesn't want me to delete the Android folder. There you go. Do it. Do it. Just delete a bunch of stuff. My assumption is like an MS build is hanging on to something, or an ADB. Let's end that task. That's usually the case. There we go. So then we delete that. I really just want to delete this one full. Oh, it's because I probably have it open in here. Let's close that. Really doesn't want me to delete that folder. So now I'm going to move this in here and then rename this here. Boop. I'll delete that at some point in time when it lets me. Go in here. Rename this. And then see what I would do is I would like merge it in basically and say, okay, now we're going to merge and override. We've cleaned up. We've gotten all of our stuff there. We should be in a place now where we're able to open it up in general. Yeah, I think the splash screen is auto-generated. You'd have to like basically do, you would have to, okay, so now this is here. Okay, cool. Oh, I also want to do one more thing. Let me do this. Let me close the solution. Let me go into my coffee app, and then delete this stuff. Okay. It is much cleaner. I agree, Mav. I think that it's the way to go with this stuff, in my opinion. So that's just a James opinion. But yeah, to me, it's like definitely like the way to just add this up, spruce it up. This is nice because now like it's like here's my project, right? And here's all my things, gonna do everything I need. And I have one project, one solution, although I did get it working. That's a good question. I don't know, Mav, about the activity in the launch screens. I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. My assumption is that like that source code is generated. So I don't know. But you can have your own splash screen, I guess. Like I'm not actually sure how the main activity, it is the main launcher, so I don't know what they're doing. I'd have to look at the code behind there. Do you think a web target will be on the MAUI roadmap? I mean, never say never. However, cool. Thanks, Billy. I hope you have a great meeting. You're welcome. I'm going to continue. I'm going to try to push through and actually get this thing building. We'll see if that works or not. We'll see. Let's see what happens. Oh, I need to also probably add this project reference because I bet it got broken. In here now, it's this one. There we go. fixed it up. Well, right now you can take Blazor apps and put them into .NET MAUI applications. That's like one route to like do the Blazor hybrid approach for development, and that might be like what you might want to look for in general. See, this is what I want. Is I want this basically this action here. This build, I failed. Okay. Okay. May have broke everything by moving stuff around. Let's see. Oh, okay. So this is. Oh, how come it didn't work? Oh, oops! I removed the wrong one. There we go. That's why. That should fix it up. So I can't source generate if like it's not source generating. There we go. There you go. I think it's good. I don't know. Well, I mean, I think the team always wants to add more platforms, but you know, they need to focus. They're focusing on what they're doing now. But there was a lot of stuff at .NET Conf, definitely like go watch and like spruce yourself up on in general about some of the stuff the team is working on. So that's what I would say. All right, let's have this build. Let's run another ad really quick if it lets me. Let's try that out. Oh, Adam, you make a good point, right? I would say that there is some projects that folks are working on in the community, like we and stuff like that. But no, I mean, I mean, people always want so much stuff, but it's always like what happens when you take this optimized app that doesn't have any of some of the different things and move it to web. But it's an interesting question at the end of the day. I mean, people asked for that for Xamarin.Forms for a long time too, right? There were some great libraries that did it. But yeah, no, I agree if you don't want to go from web to that over. But yeah, it's a valid point, I would say. Oh, we're missing a setter. What am I? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, probably need a default of 40 maybe? I didn't add a default there. That's kind of interesting that it ran before but didn't run. Oh, because it didn't do Windows. That's why. Awesome. Have a great lunch. Yes, go off. It's coming along, and I'll commit this code into the source code repo. So it's happening. It's happening. I'm actually kind of curious if I can run it on Windows and to see if it works. Let's see where we're at. I don't know. I don't know. I have to imagine there's a bunch of stuff that's like not right, but I don't know. Ooh, that's not good. I probably missed something. Let's try Android and let's see what happens there. Which one do I have open? None of them? Let's try this one out. It's coming along, slow but sure. But actually really not that bad. I mean, we only spent like 2 hours so far. And if that's the case, I'm pretty happy with it. So here's our source generators. Did it generate all this stuff? It did. There's all of our source generated stuff that's there. So that's pretty cool. I'm so nervous. So nervous. Oh, you know what I'm also interested in? I'm also interested in if I didn't move over. Probably shouldn't have deleted everything yet. I think I'm missing my app shell stuff. Yeah, this stuff here. But it should use the new one, so I'm kind of interested. Oh no, I did move that over. Okay. App shell. I did move that stuff over, these resources. And then the real question is there... Like they have all these base target types. I'm curious if they have what they have for the shell. Okay, so they just have like a normal one. That's good. Okay. Okay, maybe I'll try a different emulator. This one seems to be broken. Okay, let's try this out again. This one seems to be working, so that's good. Okay, so then we probably want to delete this. Cool, cool, cool. So curious. I'm so curious. Curious. I'm worried. I'm all the things. Oh, there's more code to clean up. That's good. Compiling. The question is, did I register all the things I need to register and put things all in the right place? That's the question at the end of the day, and I don't know. I don't know. I think so. I want to say yes, but I don't know. Okay, it's got an APK. Ugh. Is it just going to crash like Windows? I don't know. I don't know what happened on the Windows one. I'm really curious to see what the crash was. But if I can get it running on Android, it's like I knew it at least ran there previously. Oh, we got our splash screen, our icon. Nice. That's cool. Automagic. Question is this going to work or not? I don't know. I don't know. Just cross. Heyo, it did. Oh, and I didn't move over one of the images. Okay, cool. Whoa. Dope. All right. That's cool. Nice. Okay. Let's double check that image because I did have an image. I guess I added it where? Coffee bag. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Resources, images, add existing item. I forget if this needs to be a MAUI image, right? It does add it. Okay, cool. So that just worked. Oh my gosh. And there's the icon. So the PNG just works. If you have the PNG set up, that's going to really simplify your life, basically, if you already were applying the newer concepts over to it. So this is neat. Oh my gosh. And the nice thing is if you keep all of your package names and all your stuff the same, you'd be able to upgrade and migrate your application. You know, your users would be able to without, you know, a hitch, basically. But if you end up looking at my Git changes now, what we end up seeing is I didn't add anything new. I deleted the iOS and the Android bits, right? But I leave all the other things the same. So that's kind of nice. And these we probably don't even need. Still building? It's still building. Okay. Oops. Now it's now deploying. Okay. And I think our icons were working too, because I configured them in the MAUI program right there. Boom. Sweeky would be proud, I think. I think Sweeky would be proud. Now the real gotcha is if the Windows app will work, because that would be neat if it did. And I got a free platform. There's our coffee bag. So a few A few things, our grids no longer have little things on it. So there's a few gotchas in here, probably. This image, this isn't working. I wonder if the database is broken. Man, why is it broken? Oh, okay, unable to resolve iCoffee service. So I think I did it wrong. Oh, I did do this wrong. This needs to be iCoffee service like that. And then this needs to be iEnvironment and iToast. There we go. That's what happened there. So I was like, I didn't register the interfaces correct. I just registered the classes. That's not what I wanted. Very clear. Good. I mean, I don't know how clear it was. I would say it's a journey. And I didn't want to just make a video because I'm like, well, it's not going to be clean, right? It's not going to be the simplest thing in the world, probably. But all right. This is good. Let's get my coffees. All right, add. Maui is the roaster. Save it. All right. We got a database entry. Yes. We got image caching. It didn't seem to work. All right, we'll have to look into that and see what's up there. It's interesting. I wonder if it didn't generate the image correct. I was doing some weird image caching hacks. Oh, I wonder if I am putting that in the view model correct. Oh. I don't think I can hot reload that accordingly. No. And then it does look like okay, that should be there. Public partial class. Definitely should be there. I don't know why that's not generating correctly. It should be. It's odd. Because that obviously worked there. Analyzers. For some reason it says that this isn't generating files, but it clearly is. Because none of the other stuff would work if it didn't. Yeah, that's obviously wrong because it is generating properties and doing things. I don't know what's up with that. What's up with that? What's up with that? All right. There we go. Boom. Cool. It did do it. Nice. Animations are working. Cool. Settings. Now we have the other themes. This isn't working still, so I'll have to figure that out. Cool. This is great. I mean, all the navigation, all the stuff is in there. Moving around. Nice. Okay, cool. So there's that aspect of it. And then beyond that, just an image. Just an image. That's an image cache. So I show how like reload caches on images. This is from like a camera basically. But there is a bunch of, you know, libraries out there and code that you can grab to display videos and whatnot. So, okay. I think that is mostly it. Let's see the Windows one and what's up with that. What's up with that? I wonder if I broke Yeah. I think in Windows, I think what I need to look at is really quick. I don't have any apps that play video right now, which is funny because that's a lot of my background. So I think what I want to look at is if there's anything that has next version in it. Aha. Yeah, so you want to, so here's the issue is you want to replace it with next version dot with nothing. Boop, replace. So that's sort of my, because we changed the name of it and whatnot, you're going to want to change that. So that should hopefully fix this up because I couldn't find the DLL. If so, that'd be amazing. Nope. Let me do a clean and a rebuild maybe. I feel like I messed that up somehow, and I don't know why. What I did. No. I'm assuming it probably didn't even rebuild it in general. The only thing I can think of is if I go to platforms, Windows, is this correct? Is correct. That should be all fine because it fills it all in. Huh. Let's do a rebuild. I'm definitely not as scared or worried as I was earlier, basically, for the upgrade stuff. Because that definitely worked really good. What is going on here? Okay, let's open this up and let's see if I can. I'd like to figure this out if that's a possibility. That'd be pretty neat because I don't know what is going on with it. I actually have it here. A Win32 exception. A Win32 exception, you say? Oh, that's not looking like it's gonna do anything. Let me try to maybe it'll just crash and give me some output. It definitely is installed. Then that stuff isn't going to help me really. All I can think of is maybe if I uninstall it locally. Let's try that. Maybe the installed version is like referencing the old exe. Let's try that out. It's installed on my machine. I don't know why is it doing that? And it doesn't really give me any. Oh, warning. Okay. It's just a warning. It really, it's like it doesn't even give me any. Yeah. Yeah, read in my mind. Probably sad but true. But I could just delete the individual Windows ones here. And then let me uninstall the app. Maybe I'm gonna really try to close it out. It could just be like, yeah, holding on to something. It really does not want to delete whatever's in there. Come on. Something is like being held on to. I don't think so. Oh, I wonder if it's... This is always the fun. This is like where I like reboot my machine. Like reboot the machine and then like it could be trying to still... No. Let's see if I go into it one more time. My assumption is it's not, didn't update the... See, like it did, it won't. Okay. Now let me delete the stuff inside of it, but not, oh, now it deletes me. Silly. Okay, let me look at the OBJ. Okay, let's try to open it one more time. Oh, so Andre says, I similar to when I made the Couture internal and DI can't create the instance. Yeah, but it ran on Android though. You know what I mean? So that would be of interest as to... Fine, was it on all or was it just on that one? You know what I mean? They're gonna like have to redo all the stuff and bring down all the stuff and whatnot there. But this is the one thing I maybe have to ask somebody about. I don't know. Or is like something isn't supported? That doesn't make any sense. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. Give this one a go. Else, I'm gonna go maybe have lunch and then figure out what's wrong. I'll make this commit, and then if I have to make more commits, I'll do it. But come on, Windows. The only thing I can think of is I changed the namespaces a bunch. You know what I mean? And then that could have messed something up potentially. Whoa. Maybe I accidentally deleted something else. Let me double check something here. Like the only thing I could think of is I definitely just messed something else up. Somehow. Like I accidentally changed some file or did a thing. I can't imagine I did that though. Let's look. That looks correct. I don't know. This is the one thing that I'm really not sure what I did. Or why it won't work. And like the debugger won't attach to it, so... Like the question is, did it even get to? Oh, I actually want to get rid of all this stuff. Oh man. Oh, it could have died here. That's interesting too. It's like, that's not the right way to do it, obviously. So I'm also kind of curious, like, oh, there's other cleanup I need down here, right? So there's this like toaster, so I probably need to get rid of this. But it should, it's like this should be, yeah. It's probably correct. This, I don't know if this is even gonna work, this theme thing. Oh, this actually should have been okay, but. That'd be almost all of my dependency service calls. I can't imagine that being it. Yeah, so Android works fine, but Windows does not. But I don't know if I broke something and something else happened. I got to deploy successful. Oh, okay, so we get in here. Okay, so we're actually debugging it. I didn't change the CS proj. So we build it up. Okay, so then the question becomes, do we get this stuff? Do we get this stuff? Ooh, I wonder if my barrel. Okay. Just something's gotta hit. We route. Okay. So the real question becomes, if we do, there's gotta be something that I did. Let's do this. When in doubt, comment everything out. You know what I mean? And then we should just get like a blank page. That's what, yeah. The CS project setting seems fine. So it's like it's running. It's something isn't opening correctly. And the real question is it me or is it someone else? That's the question. And then I think the question ends up becoming, is it something that I have in the shell, right? Like, do I have something else in here that's not correct? It's a good question. Oops. Because like, is it me? The problem is that it's not running on Windows, and I'm wondering if it's me or if it's someone else. Because we do initialize, we like never get, we get our routing, and then is it me? Is it a resource thing? You know what I mean? Because I never ran it on Windows before, if that makes sense. So is something wrong here in my resources? Because that could be an issue too. Like maybe it's parsing the resources and it's like, nah. Oh, hey, this is better. Okay, window background color. Oh well, yeah, that makes sense because I just commented those all out. Let's do this. So it did parse this. Let's go into my styles. These are all just colors, right? Just normal colors. I just want to see if there's something like is breaking it here. You know what I mean? These all should be fine. Like, is there some other odd thing that's going on? Eugene, that looks like it's something with your iOS configuration stuff, maybe, possibly. Huh. I should just get a blank. Let me try something. I am curious if it's like something with this theme. So what if I put this in colors and then just don't include this file? I was kind of missing other resources, but they shouldn't be there yet. Okay, we can get rid of that. I feel like it's not me. I feel like it's something else. I don't know what it is. Let's remove these routes. Because now the shell's doing nothing. It's not loading anything. So it shouldn't have a problem. I don't think so. The only thing I can think of is if the monkey cache stuff, that should work just fine. But let's update it just in case. Well, watches. I mean, well, the thing is, Billy, I never had a Windows app before, so actually, I don't know if something else is there. Right? I only had it on iOS and Android, so that's the tricky part. Huh. Oh, that's interesting as well. Oh, that's funny. So if I upgrade that, that gets rid of that. And then I would need to... Man. Not how I wanted it to work. I looked in the debug output. There was nothing there, but now I've gone down and messed up a bunch of stuff. Let me see. Okay. I don't know how to do it. How do I do it? Cast it to T. I think that's how I maybe do it. I didn't see anything, yeah. And this is the only thing I could think of is like, unless the, well, we were using that old one. I mean, maybe I changed something in a newer version, but I don't think so. No, it just like crashes. The only thing that's in here is nothing. So it wasn't that. And what we end up seeing is that it does come into the app shell and it does hit a breakpoint. So the app is loading correctly. New app shell. Okay, well, it's going to go a little bit further. This is good. App metadata provider. What's that? Here's my call stack. I feel like something got. I feel like it's in some like loop or something. No call stack. And eventually it just crashes. I'm assuming it's in like some infinite loop of oddity. Let me see. Like, let me just double check that this runs as well. Or something else broken. Because it's odd. It like gets in there. It gets down in there. We did all the stuff. Okay, so it's doing okay. Well, it never worked on Windows before, but I feel like there's something wrong that I did. As this works. Okay. So that does work. So that's good. I don't know what it is. Yeah, there's not a lot of it's like whatever this I'll have to ask someone on the team to like debug it because I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. If I try to attach a debugger, it won't attach. Maybe if I turn off just in time. Just my code. That's the only thing I could think of is like. Ah, here we go. Here we go, people. Okay, so something happened here. The main object reference show call stack. Shell item. Let me try something here. Let me put in a... Let's try something here. Let's try it out. Let's put in a add new item. And let's add a... Okay, just gonna give this a good old try. Let's do let's just give it something to load. It'd be cool to see, open it on Mac and see if it launches on Mac. That'd be another thing to try out, that's for sure. It gets here. Okay. All right. All right, we got something. We got a page. We got a page loading, people. All right, we got something happening. Okay. Okay. Let's put back in our routes. I don't know what happened. Odd. Okay. So let's just put this back in and just launch this and see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if these... We'll get a duplicate key most likely now. So hold on. Okay, that's still worked. Okay. Okay. Let's move these back out. It's like maybe unless there's like... The only thing I can think of is like, I don't know what I can think of. I don't even know. Does it crash? No. Okay. This is fine. Okay. So we're at a pretty good state. So now the question is, if I hide this, let's minimize this. Let's put in one piece of flyout item. Okay. Okay, that should... I don't have any renderers, no. I don't think so. And well, the platform interface, no, they're in there. Now, well, now it's running, right? So now it's like, oh, okay. Wait, what's going on here? Okay. So now we have this page. And this page. Equipment. All right, well, something is not working here. Well, the images aren't working, but we have tabs in here. Tab 1, tab 2. Jen, thank you for the sub. Okay. So then what you do is you move this around, right? You move this here. And you say, okay, what did I do wrong in life? I don't know. I really don't know. They're both there. Well, those are loading now. Okay. These aren't loading for some reason. I don't know why. But this is loading, so that's good. Okay. And then what you do is you just go all in and you say, okay, let's just run it and see what happens now. Because now everything's running? What, doesn't make any sense. Are you gonna crash? Nope. Okay, cool. So then, doesn't make any sense. There's some oddities. There's some weird stuff happening. But it's here. It's happening. It's all happening. Okay. So then we say, what happens if we take this away? Nick, thank you for the subscription. So now let's see what happens here. So now it's working. These aren't working for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so these are working. Oh, let me. Okay. The only thing I can think of is, I wonder if this login page has something to do with it. Because this user just be hanging out, right? Right here, the shell item. I wonder if this breaks it. This can't break it because there's not. It broke it before because there was nothing there. No, this is where we're fine. What? Ah, okay. So that's okay. Interesting. So whatever this is, data template login page. Ah, interesting. Where's my login page at? So something's up with that. Something is up with that. I do not know. Something weird. Okay, so that's good to know. Must have had something to do with that, where something must have changed. Okay. Cool. I wonder if I can put these resources back. Okay. So now we're good again, except for all these things are being weird. Where it's not loading the coffee, oddly enough, for some reason. We'll have to look at that later. But let's put back in this. And see if this will light up my styles on my app. It should. Yeah, there we go. And those don't work. That's great. There's some odd stuff going on, but let's run it on Android and let's see. So I don't know. I'm puzzled, but all I know is it seems to be working. Seems to be working, my friends. So let's see if it'll run on Android. And then we're gonna call it a day. Whew. I don't know what happened. That's wild. That is wild. It was this. This is the problem, this login page thing. So whatever this was causing an issue for it. So there must be some oddity with that where you can't add a shell item inside of it. There must have been some breaking change, obviously. But maybe it never worked because I never ran it on Windows, so I don't know. Let's get ready to do this. Convert, update to .NET MAUI system. JSON, community, MVVM community toolkit, and so much more. Woo! Okay. Woo! Okay. Oh, that must be something. Let's see. That's I must. You do it clean. Maybe it didn't get like the new packages. It'd be odd if so. It's there. The Monkey Cache version 2.0 does do that. It changes it to that. And then I upgraded that code as well. What time is it? Okie doke. Fingers crossed here. Yeah, we updated. There's only a few places that it had that stuff, which is pretty much in my internet coffee stuff. So I updated this here, but this should still work as is, I think. It's like I fixed iOS and then I break Android. That'd be hilarious. That should work. I think it should, but I don't know why it doesn't. There we go. Yay! It works. I don't know why this isn't working on iOS, but I need to figure that out, I guess. That'll be the next step. And why these icons weren't working and why the touch stuff doesn't work. Woof! We did it! We did it. All right, I gotta go. This is too much. I'm gonna commit these changes. I'm gonna send in the pull request. Down the wire. Thanks everyone for hanging out. That was wild. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I'm gonna push this code up. I'm gonna open the PR. Oh, I only committed one file. There we go. Pushing it live. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being subscribers, members, all the things. Super appreciative of it. I'm going to now log in to Git because I'm apparently not logged in. I'm going to push the code as I do always. I don't know if I'll come back and do any more live streams this year, but maybe. We'll see. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet to the channel. I'll be around. This is fun. This is fun. This is good stuff. All right, it's going live right now. Mission successful. I'll tweet it out. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being members, subscribers, all the things. This is fun. This is fun. I'll check y'all later. Bye-bye.